Welcome to Diwali special episode at the Emerging Lawyer series of the Coffee Corner Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is From Science to IP Law, the journey of Saurabh Anand, who is a senior counsel at Akamai Technologies, a registered Indian patent agent, and recognized as a notable practitioner by Managing IP 2023. A science graduate turned lawyer, Saurav's career spans across leading IP firms and global technology companies, where he's worked on cutting edge issues of cloud computing, artificial intelligence, AI, privacy, and intellectual property litigation. From landmark patent cases in telecom and pharma to shaping regulatory strategies for emerging technologies, his journey reflects the dynamic intersection of science, law, and innovation. And we also come to know Saurabh as a person. So, welcome, Saurabh, to today's celebration episode.
Thank you, Amir, and thank you, team, for having me here. And with this celebration, I have another news that I got promoted to a lead counsel now, effective October 1st.
Okay, so that's congratulations. So,
Thank you.
Diwali brings all the celebrations. So, that's why we celebrate with our coffee speakers. So, let me explain you. There'll be three rounds.
Mhm,
Uh, Saurabh. First round, your professional, then personal, and you have also a surprise, the rapid fire round, where you have to
mhm.
be pretty fun and quick and use your Diwali gift, legal AI
Oh,
grounds, which will be
thank you.
autographed and sent to you.
Okay,
So let's
awesome.
begin.
Yes.
Friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So my first question for your professional journey round. You
Mhm,
began your journey as a science graduate before transitioning into law.
mhm.
What drew you to IP and technology law, and how has the journey been till date?
Ah, journey till date has been a bumpy ride for sure, because being a science graduate and then turning law, that's not so conventional. And that too, I'm talking about the years 2010 and 2013. So a bit of background will help you to understand and navigate these discussions. So coming from the part of the country where your father is a doctor and mother is a teacher, you are aimed for two professions, either become a doctor or become an engineer. So with that thought process, I was deported to New Delhi for my education, where I was introduced to different fields of law. And then, like any other young kid, I was supposed to sit in the medical entrance examination, which obviously I could not crack. Then, being the guidance, okay, drop one more year, and why don't you just take an admission in graduation and then prepare one more year? And that's why science hit me, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. So let me continue with my graduation. Then, as you must have seen, someone comes in your life and then things changes. And that's why when professor came into my life, his name is Professor Rajni Gupta, and like I'm sure she will be listening this. She motivated me to actually like continue with my science. And then she was the one, through her I got selected as one of the scholarship by Government of India called Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. It's a KBY fellowship. And then I became a, in English you can call it junior scientist, but don't quote me. I'm not a junior scientist, but it was a fellowship. And then all of a sudden, reality hits you what you will do with the graduation. Then your father comes from a UPSC background. Then, as all other young kid, I was supposed to do UPSC, and then how law came into my life. I joined Delhi University Law with the intention of cracking UPSC at some point of time, but that's where the integration of science and law happened to me, and I was exposed to patents field. And that was the first time. I still remember the year 2011 when I became aware a lawyer can become a science specialized lawyer. And that's where the patents law came into my life. And they started devoting my entire focus towards law, a specialized field of law called IP laws. And I never sat for UPSC until like 2013, I became a lawyer and started looking for job opportunities. And fortunately, I got that. So journey definitely has been a bumpy one, coming from the background from where you come and where you end. So that's been a bit how sciencey became a lawyer at some point of time.
Wow. So let's build up a conversation.
Yeah.
Uh, as a registered patent agent, what's
Mhm.
your view on encouraging more Indian innovation to be patented globally?
100%. Like we need to think from primarily three pillars. One is prevention, second is protection, number three is commercialization. Anything in anything around intellectual property you can consider is built around these three concepts. So if more and more innovators from India are going abroad and getting a some form of IP registration from themselves, they can actually protect their innovation accordingly. They can prevent their innovation from getting leaked, and at the same time they can enter into some form of technology transfer licensing to gain some commercials out of it. So I view this as a very strong tool for innovator, and if it is from India, then nothing like it. That they can follow these three models, whether like domestically or globally as well.
Wow. Okay. So, having worked on landmark telecom and pharma patent cases early on,
Mhm.
what key lessons did you carry into your corporate counsel role today?
Ah, that's 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 pretty interesting. So everyone has a different perception when when you are working in a law firm industry and when you're working in in-house counsel. And I can consider only one key lesson. What I am still carrying forward is the judgment to understand the conclusion. I can explain a little more. So a litigator comes, or any client comes to litigator when things have gone bad. And that's where the work of the litigator, a work of a lawyer starts. Okay, what happened in the past, why this happened, and what new resolution I can provide to you. And if you will go with the same lesson from an in-house role, if tomorrow my business leaders are asking me, hey, Saurav, this is the problem, what should we do with it? I always think as the conclusion, what you're trying to achieve here. And that's one key lesson which is still stuck with me. Because I honestly feel as an in-house lawyer, my role is not to stall business, but to be a partner to the business, and judging the conclusion or asking the right question, what the business leader are trying to achieve, is the key lesson what I personally carried forward and is still carrying forward in my journey as in-house counsel.
Wow. Okay. So now AI question. IP law often struggles to keep pace with innovation. How do
Yeah.
you think India's IP ecosystem is adapting to disruptive technologies like AI and blockchain?
Yeah, I have a different perspective towards it, and different individuals will have different perspective. So when you're talking about IP law, people only rely upon the statutes. Patents Act came in 1970, Trademarks Act 1999, Copyrights 1957. But we always tend to forget about the judicial precedents who are actually holding the torch forward in these all innovative technologies. So you will see a lot of cases where new tech has come into dispute, and our judiciary has very well handled those new tech with the existing set of laws. And some amazing set of precedents have come. To name a few, for example, concept of confidentiality club. In IP is all about confidentiality, right? Like I will not share with you, and in civil law, what you know what happens moment it goes to the court, it becomes a public document. But in IP, you need to have a different set of rule book altogether. So I strongly feel that our legislature is very prescriptive in nature, which allows our judiciary to help and resolve disputes. But as I initially told, it may be applicable for 90% or 95% cases, but still we do lack on 5% cases where new areas are emerging around data breach, how to identify those breach. And there are few uh, definitely spaces where our legislature as on date might need to kind of take the leap here, but still we are not in that bad spot, I would say.
Wow. So, with AI generating content and inventions,
Yeah.
how do you see the definition of authorship and inventorship evolving legally?
Yeah, and you are smiling when you are asking this question because this is the hot topic around AI every day.
Yeah.
And and so I can so there are two school of thoughts. as everyone knows here. One, it's a human-centric approach. Everyone should be a human. And another one, like, okay, no, you are too backward. It is an AI world and it has to be owned by AI. I personally feel, based upon, of course, different jurisprudence and rules, regulation coming across the globe, it is going to be a human-centric approach at least for some more time. uh, uh, Originality, creativity, which still vests, it is going to be a human-centric approach for some more time. But I am also foreseeing down the line it will become a sort of hybrid approach as well, where a human-owned systems and an AI system sort of own a form of IP in a hybrid fashion. But this is just hypothetical. That may change, that may not change. But I am still with that part of the gang who says yes, it should be human centric approach because it is all about innovative ingenuity and it should come from a human, not for a machine.
Wow. Okay. So, Saurabh, you have been on both sides, law firm litigation and now in-house corporate counsel rules.
Yep.
What is the biggest contrast in approach and mindsets?
Ah, so mindset will change when you change sites. So when in a law firm, I always used to think that in-house lawyers don't know anything. And now when I have traveled that journey and now I am in-house lawyer, I think I was wrong because that's not how it functions. So you have to understand from a different perspective as well. And this is something which one of my clients gave me in a very early career in somewhere in 2014. I was doing one pharmaceutical patent litigation, and in my old young litigator, I know everything was there. And that gentleman came and sat, like, you know everything about the law, but you don't know about what I'm going to tell you. So, and he was the inventor of a particular patent. And then when he stated those things and he provided his guidance about how to navigate this technically, that changed my whole perception. And then I carried with that perception. So after that day, whenever I used to interact with any inventor or in-house lawyer, I always ask, like, okay, what do you think about it? And that was my mindset till I was in the service profession. And now when I am in the other side of the table at in-house, now I understand at what point, or probably not point, why an in-house counsel reach out to a professional. It's because there are a lot of issues which a business would want you to do, but you know the answer, but you might not have the enough experience of those laws. And that's where this relationship between in-house lawyer and a law firm lawyer comes into picture, because they have practiced this day in day and out for different clients, where an in-house lawyer knows things but he has not enough practiced it. So that's where I think it's a good correlation and timing that you both should talk and provide a solution to the client as well as for my business partner. So yeah, so my thought has completely changed after joining in-house, and I'm glad that it got changed.
Wow. So, data privacy, Saurabh, is becoming central worldwide.
Yeah,
Where do you see India's upcoming data protection regime standing globally?
very positive development to begin with, because you have been tracking what is happening from 2018, and at least we are on a stage where we have something on the papers. So I am very enthusiastic about it, that we have a new law coming into picture, which is at least at par with global regulations. So if you will pick up the prospective law and tell me that, hey, the sort of this is not up to the mark, which I can clearly show you that it is at par with European GDPR laws, to some extent with most of the US laws as well. So in approach wise, we are in a very good space. Of course, since this is a new law, there are rooms for development around cross-border data flow, around enforcement, new data protection, office come into picture. And I'm sure, like, we have traveled so far in 5 6 years, and those journey we also will travel very quickly, because like a lot of things are happening in this space and in a good way, in a positive development. So I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Wow. So, Saurabh, at Akamai, you handle issues spanning AI, privacy, and cloud
Yeah,
security.
yeah.
How do you navigate such rapidly evolving areas of law?
It's not easy. So I think the problem here is vast information available in front of us, and everything is available online. So I think the problem is not what you are looking for. The problem is you should know what you are looking for. A very brief example: there is a new AI Act has come in Europe, and it is applicable for different sector of industries, say healthcare, say industry like mine, say financial sector. If a partner, if a business owner asks me what are the repercussions for Akamai, I I should not be going and reading 100 pages. I should be going and reading only that particular provision of that particular law which is applicable on me. So, being an in-house counsel, having a global operation, it is humanly impossible for me to know everything what's happened in Korea, in Australia, in China, in Europe, in US, because we don't launch services on a jurisdiction-wise basis, but on a global basis. So I think the devil is a detail lies. You should not aim to know everything. You should aim to know what you want to know, and that's where your research or the navigation path will become little simpler. And that's how I do it in my practice.
Beautiful. Okay. So how has your global legal leadership has evolved over the years?
It has evolved tremendously. Let me put it this way. Considering because this is my first in-house role, and when you are in a law firm, you work very less on the leadership qualities. You work more on solving and creating solution and delivering for your clients. But leadership qualities is something which is not, which eventually will grow when the here will grow, become gray, but not anyone will work on your qualities. Which on the counter side here, you need to operate in a fashion where you don't need to only simply tell this is the law, but you also need to tell now what you need to do. And when I started doing that, then it eventually helped me in understanding how leadership functions. So when someone is looking at you, it's not only they're looking for you about what is this, they're looking for how to solve this as well. So I think it's an organic journey. I experienced it like 2 years back, but I'm experiencing on a day-to-day basis as well, and it will continue to evolve depending upon the type of complexities I am dealing with, type of individuals I am dealing with, as well as type of jurisdiction I am dealing with, because different jurisdiction you have to deal with differently. So it's
Beautiful.
evolving.
Beautiful. Okay, let's go maybe on a lane. In your
Mhm.
litigation years, you
Yeah.
worked on various cases looking back. Which
Yes.
case most shaped your legal thinking?
I can name them. So once, so I started my career with Singh and Singh. It's a very reputed law firm in IP space in based out of New Delhi. So I was very young and joined there. So one of the cases, and now I can take the name. This is in public domain. So it was a pharmaceutical patent litigation, Novartis versus Glenmark. So I actually learned the how to conduct a patent civil litigation. This is technically an incorrect statement. There's nothing called patent civil litigation. It is always a civil litigation. But I'm using a term hypothetically here just to co-simulate. If a civil lawyer is conducting a trial, if conducting a trial, a patent lawyer is conducting trial, 70-80% will the game will be the same. But those 20% where a patent litigation differentiates, I learned and enjoyed that when I was doing that. And when I joined KNS, I understood different side of the intellectual property. So it's I was dealing with the case again in public domain. It's Ashirvad Pipes. It's a famous pipe manufacturer based out of Karnataka. So they sued someone called Asharwad, Ashawad. I was doing a trademark infringement, and they actually filed a trademark application, and they stated something before the registry. So then I understood how critical it is for you to not tell anything publicly, because I used those statements against them in the litigation. So in the Sing and Sing area, I understood difference between civil litigation and a patent litigation. Here I understood the journey of IP and how it has to be in sync with your strategies going forward. So that I still carrying it wherever these opportunities arise at in as in Counsel and Akamai. whatever you're telling publicly, be very mindful of that one because it can be used against you.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So, sort of looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of tech law and IP in India and globally?
I'll start with India and let me be very honest with you. From 22 onwards, we are actually sitting on the cusp of this boom. And so the tech law per se is evolving through regulation from different sectors like CERT-in, RBI, SEBI. And from IP perspective, I would say our judicial precedents are evolving very rapidly. So I would say that we are in a far better space, and a lot of things are going to come. And there are issues around what we generally handle on a day-to-day basis. There are no laws around it. So I and we can foresee that discussions have started in the forum that, hey, why there are no laws about this particular thing. So and that's how laws are getting made. So you must have heard there's new India's some technology act is coming to picture, is going to replace our existing telecom IT act.
Hmm.
So so definitely a great space, at least in India. And globally, so it's every jurisdiction is acting differently, primarily because of the kind of issues they have to deal with, socioeconomic factor, cultural factor. So if you'll see, EU is traveling different journey altogether, US is traveling different journey altogether. So but we are not behind. So I'm very happy the way things are growing. At the same time, I am a little scared as well because we need to read so much.
Wow. So my last question, what
Yeah.
advice would you give to science and engineering graduates
Mhm.
to enter into the niche area of IP and patent laws?
Definitely it. So now it is a more relevant profession going forward, and people are actually aware of it. You have specialized courses running in IIT Kharagpur where you can do a science, then do a law. So definitely one of the best professions, according to me, if you want to try this, if you are a science graduate, for primarily two, three reasons. You have been seen as an expert of multiple things because you are sitting as the integration of both the fields altogether, from science as well as law. So my advice would be, if you are currently pursuing science in whatever form, you are doing graduation, you are doing engineering, if you have not thought about your career, please do think of law as a career. And if you are an already a law graduate, you should consider trying into new tech laws come into picture, because in that one you don't require a science degree. You need to understand how this whole industry functions. So great field, great opportunities, more to come. uh, Definitely worth a try.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and understand Saurabh as a person. Tell us
Mhm.
about your family and your formative years.
Okay, as I mentioned, my father is a doctor and he was in railways, who usually goes from UPSC, so a government servant. And my mother was a teacher, and that's why this my journey from medical entrance, then science, then ultimately law happened because I wanted to be a IS officer. So and I so that's about my parents. And I have a elder sister. She is married and she's an entrepreneur, and I am married to a lawyer. She, funny story, I met her in courts in Bangalore while arguing against each other. So, so matter got settled, we got settled, and that's the short, sweet, simple love story. So we got married, and yes, she is currently practicing in one of the law firms, and I am with Akamai.
Wow. So let's go to Jindal Global Law School days. What are
Mhm.
your memories, experience, and how did it help in shaping your career?
Yeah, so it was a remote uh, course for me. I did my master's and I in IP from Jindal. So I don't have memories per se with my batchmates. There are few memories where we're sharing notes because everything was happening in virtual during whole COVID days. But yes, the moment we all cleared that, we definitely had one fun conversation. Finally, we all cleared that, and that's when few we carried for a few friendships. So yeah, it was not during the course, but after the course, we made great connections.
Wow. So, Sarah, outside of work, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Driving. That's
Mhm.
the only thing which I like. I have drove almost 25 states in India.
Mhm.
And that's been a passion since very early days. So yeah, I when I got transferred from New Delhi, so I went from my home state when my fathers are there to New Delhi in a car. Then I got transferred from New Delhi to Bangalore. I came by a car. Then I
Mhm.
had to drop my car back to my father, and I drove again back to that place. So it's like a full circle. So all the time you will see my car running, clocking more than a lakh kilometers in very bad conditions. So yeah, that is something which I really enjoy and a way of unwinding for me.
Wow. So, what's a childhood memory that always makes you smile?
Okay, that's a no-brainer for me. It's a famous sweet which I get in my place. It's a small town in Bihar, Katiyar, where my father was last retired. So we settled in there. So my childhood is from that place. So there is a famous Rasgulla place there. It's by the name of the Bhola Mishtan Bhanda. So,
Mhm.
and he makes it at 7 a.m. in the morning and it gets finished by 9 a.m. in the morning. So we have to queue up to get those rasgullas. So now it has become high tech when I'm going, Bhaiya, just keep for 10 for me, and that happens. But those days where we had to queue up to get those bites or two rasgullas, we still do that. So whenever I'm traveling next week to meet my parents, and that's the first thing which I'm going to do the moment I reach home. Go have those four pieces of rasgullas and satisfy my cravings.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of Rasgulla, not of Gulab Jamun.
No, no, I am on mostly of rasgullas, the white ones.
Ah, white ones. Yes,
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. If your friends had to describe you in three words, what would they say?
Ooh. You know how friends describe you. So, but yes, in a more lighter manner, they will probably call me as a jugadu lawyer for sure, because whatever I do and I continue to do the way I practice things. Second one, he will call me as a friend in need, like, and or probably a sacha dost. I have very few friends, and that's a very close knit. So it's like brothers. Like you call it 24/7, and we are there. So yeah,
Beautiful.
and others I can't use here.
Which is a book or movie which has
Yeah.
left a lasting impact on you?
Okay. So you're talking about a movie or a place?
Which is a book or movie or
Okay.
song which has left a lasting impact on you?
Hmm. Movie I can count it. It's called movie by Ranveer Singh, called Tamasha. So I still remember I got transferred from my initial KNS New Delhi office to KNS Bangalore office, and that was the last movie I saw when I was in New Delhi. And me and my best friend saw it at the night show, and it left a lasting impression on me, definitely. And in that movie, it has shown. I'm not sure that you've seen it. That the guy was trying to become a storyteller, but he was forced to become in a corporate thing, and that's when, like, okay, what we are doing, do we really enjoy law, do we really need to do something? Then reality hits. Yes, you need money, but you can at least be consistent and start continue doing what you like. So that left definitely left a lasting impression on me.
Wow. So since we're celebrating Diwali, what message would you like to give to our viewers out there?
Be happy, be safe, be healthy. I'm a pet parent, so reduce the crackers. So and let everyone enjoy Diwali in a very similar and equal manner. That's and happy Diwali to all the viewers out here.
Wow. Okay, so my last one is a googly one.
Mhm.
Describe Saurabh in one line.
Okay, sort of in one line, a very calm person with a curious mind, and my wife will give it a very different name. It's called Curious Cat. So, she, so it's like I'm by nature I will not talk much, but I'm very curious all the time. Why this is there, why this is happening. So yeah. Calm but curious.
Beautiful. So let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire round.
Oh,
Patents
okay.
or privacy laws?
Patents.
Courtroom litigation or in-house strategy?
That's courtroom litigation.
Okay. Your favorite late night snack?
Hmm. Some form of sweet.
Pharma patents or telecom patents? Tougher to
Tele-
fight.
telecom patents. Tougher to fight.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Best piece of advice received?
Be grounded.
Tea or coffee to recharge?
Tea.
Let's restore.
Yeah. And but I am having coffee right now.
Oh, thank you for that. Here's a book which will be sent to you as a Diwali gift.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So, as we wrap up this conversation with Saurabh, it's clear that his career bridges more than just law and science. It connects innovation with regulation, technology with ethics, and litigation with strategy. His journey shows how the role of a lawyer in the digital era is not just about defending rights, but also about shaping the future of innovation responsibly. For young lawyers, entrepreneurs, and innovators, startup founders, his story is both inspiring and instructive. That with curiosity, adaptability, and persistence, one can thrive at the very frontier where law meets technology. So, like I, there are 500 plus coffee speakers have shared their professional, personal journey, insights. Subscribe, implement in your lives, and see the change. And we continue conversation tomorrow as we celebrate Diwali in person. So that will be a special episode, but we continue conversation with a cup of coffee. So take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah.